So one really popular excuse you'll hear people say is that, oh, I can't memorize any Quran because, I'm working full time or I'm at school full time, whatever. But I've also been doing this and I've still been able to memorize maybe some days half a page or a page of the Quran, even while in this routine. And in some ways, it's actually beneficial being in this routine. Because the thing is, if you're in this routine and you're busy and you're also trying to memorize, it actually makes it so the only way you can memorize is by taking small portions throughout the day. And the thing is, it's actually very good as in terms of a reminder for yourself. Because what I've been doing for the past few months is, in the morning, maybe trying to either memorize or revise a little bit, and then if I have breaks throughout the day, then I'll try to memorize again or strengthen what I memorize or revise. And you just go throughout the day, you're constantly reminding yourself in the Quran. And in some ways, that is way more beneficial than just doing it in maybe one block, just at one period of time. Because imagine that like every single part of your day, there's a reminder entering your head. So just because you might be busy or something, don't let that be an excuse that, oh man, I can't memorize. In fact, it actually might be a perfect time to memorize because it's honestly one of the times where you need to memorize the most if you're someone who's really attached into this day-to-day monotonous routine. Just go home, come to work, scroll your phone, go to sleep. That's when you need the Quran the most. And you have that reminder throughout the day. It makes you feel like way better. And on top of that, you're actually building the habit because everyone knows, throughout life you'll have periods where you're really busy and you have times where you're not really busy. So if you can build the habit while you're really busy, the thing is when you get to the point where you're not really busy, you don't have much to do, that's when you'll be able to, extrapolate and grow that habit because you already had it, when you were busy. So of course now you can do it, you could do it even more. And there's definitely times where you might feel a little bit down, like, man, I'm barely memorizing anything because I'm super busy. But even the Quran says, لا تحرك به لسانك لتعجل به, which basically means don't rush yourself to memorize these verses, to memorize the Quran. It's no need to really rush as long as you're trying, as long as you're doing a little bit every single day. In fact, that's actually what makes it so it even serves you as like a better reminder. Like I said, multiple times throughout the day, whenever you don't have like time, that's when you're reminding yourself. But I wouldn't use it as an excuse, I'm too busy to memorize the Quran. You could definitely still make some good progress. When I was in like high school and middle school, I was basically free as a bird. I didn't have anything to do, but at that time, I wasn't really memorizing like that. And even now, just when you get super busy, you can memorize way more than you used to back then. So it doesn't really matter about whether you're busy or not. It's really about like how bad you want it and the sacrifice you're willing to do for it. And to be honest, one of the worst feelings is that, when time goes by, whether it's just like a few months, maybe in a few weeks or even years, right? And you think to yourself, man, I could have maybe memorized a few juz or something like that, but I just didn't. Even though I was busy, maybe if I just took it slowly, I would have been at this juz or whatever, but I just didn't do it because, maybe I'm lazy, undisciplined or something like that. That's one of the worst feelings because you think, man, like what was I thinking? I would be so much more grateful if back then I was memorizing, even if it's just a small little amount. And lastly, I would just say you'd be surprised how much progress you can make just by taking things slowly, because you might think, oh man, if it's not a page a day, maybe if it's not even half a page a day, what's the point? I can't even do this. But small little chunks really add up because maybe at the course of the end of the week or end of 2 weeks or end of the month, you might think, oh man, I was only doing half a page or whatever. But that's actually at the end of that month, that's a lot. That's like a lot put together. Anyway, I just wanted to make this because right now I'm also in a really busy period, but I don't want to let that be an excuse of, oh man, I got to stop memorizing or I got to take it too slow or, or just be too down on myself. At the end of the day, you can still make really good progress in it. It's not that hard as long as you have good like time management and you're willing to sacrifice and just discipline yourself. So inshallah, that was a benefit. And Assalamu alaikum.